Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today's reading, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I am going to be taking messages from the higher self of a pet, a family furry companion or friend, whether they are still with you or moved on to the other side. I'm going to be taking a look at any messages or guidance they have for you. I'm mostly clear channeling, leaving it open to them for whatever messages they feel you need to receive. And since this is a timeless and general reading, there's probably going to be a lot of messages coming through, so take only what resonates. And if this is coming across your timeline or if you're seeing this message, it's most likely for you at this point. And I welcome you here. I am so happy to have you here. And remember, any support you give me is so appreciated. Just you being here alone is very much something I have a lot of gratitude for. So I just want to thank you first and foremost for being here with me also on this journey. And I'm so happy to be here for you too. And I felt like I wanted and needed to say that. I kind of picked up this vibe when drawing cards for this collective that there was this need of almost like a little bit of comfort and reassurance. And there was a lot of energy coming through right away, a lot of spiritual energy around you. Um, for some of you, you might know what this is about. I also saw a lot of very blue and light blue energy, kind of the color of this angelite bracelet I have. So there's definitely a lot of spiritual powers around you or spiritual powers you're tapping into. It's possible if you do have a childhood pet on the other side or a family pet that has passed on, they are definitely with you, and they definitely want to help you establish communication. I'm hearing they must be with you. I feel like some of you might actually be still grieving them if that's the case, but just know that they are here with you and they love you, and they want to share some messages with the collective right now. For some of you who might be missing your pet, um, I'm feeling like you really did love them. And that's the thing with animals. They are part of our family. We do establish this very beautiful bond, and we as human beings are kind of gotten into this habit of thinking we own them rather than we are kind of participating in this broader, beautiful social collaboration with the rest of the planet and the animals in it. They are our brothers and sisters. They are family. They are companions. And the closer we are to these precious creatures, the more it hurts when they move on. It is like losing a family member. So don't undermine or judge yourself for what you're feeling when you lose something that precious to you, because that is valid. And I think some of you needed to hear that. Uh, I was also told that some of you are my uh, spiritual healers. Those of you who have been here for a while or have seen my other videos might know what that means. Some of you might actually be very new here. I'm seeing the color periwinkle around you, so I do know most of the majority of you are very spiritually tapped in, and I can definitely sense that with you. Um, I heard some of you are coming in and just needing some reassurance, some good news. And some of you are what spirit has very sweetly called you my mushroom and flower tribe. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Um, I had received an image of a either a cat or dog. It was a small animal, either a cat or dog, and it was cream colored, and it kind of had like white, but it had fur that was also like what would you call it, like beige, and my attention was drawn towards a collar. It was like a light green, almost like, I wouldn't say lime green. It was just like a bright green collar with a little bell on that. That might have been an indicator for some of you of an animal that is either with you or on the other side. Um, I'm also, I also heard some of you have a spirit animal or some sort of spirit guide that is a Bengal tiger. So if that resonates for you, that might be a message coming through from them. Because I'm also seeing a white dog with a curly tail. I think I don't remember the name of it, but they're like small dogs with like curly tails, and I'm hearing Akita. So if that's the name of a type of dog, that might be for you. Um, a lot of the colors blue and green are coming up a lot. I'm actually sensing a lot of you are very tired. I'm hearing some of you are using up way too much spiritual energy. So right off the bat, I'm doing a lot trying to tap into this energy, and it feels like something outside of you is exhausting you. I'm gonna just see like the spirit animal or spirit animals that might be around you, the higher self of any pets you might have, and maybe get more information on this Bengal tiger, because some of you might actually, I'm hearing, have premonitions about animals that were previously deceased before you even incarnated here, who might be guardians of your family line. And you might be tapping into that. So, okay, I'm reading reversals. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of this very slow, like slowed down energy. I feel like I'm moving through sludge. Like some of you need a break, you need to rest, or you are resting. You just feel so tired. I'm hearing some of you are dealing with some toxic situation that you can't quite let go of. There's a lot of, I'm feeling muddiness almost. Yeah, I think whatever, whatever, I'm almost feel like I can't even channel these messages. It seems to be your energy rather than the energy of the higher self of this animal or companion or pet. I am seeing someone sitting on a couch with a dog on their lap. So there is a sense of they want to comfort you. They're there for you. If you just, even if you talk to them and they don't know what you're saying, they're there for you. They care about you deeply, and just holding an animal on your lap can be the most soothing and comforting thing to help relieve that pressure, relieve. There might be some almost like responses to almost horror. How do I say this? Because it's hard to put this into words. It feels like you are emotionally exhausted and dealing with a lot of dysregulated people. Right off the bat, I'm not even reading the cards right now. I'm feeling like I can't talk and I'm moving through sludge. And maybe that's why that blue energy showed up. There's something you're needing to say and heal, and you can't quite say it, possibly because the people whose attention you're needing, or people who need your attention, are not there for you, or you are just so overwhelmed with being there for others, you're just so preoccupied you can't be there for yourself. Because what I'm seeing is, I keep hearing the phrase emotional dysregulation. People are using you to regulate their emotions, or you might be having a hard time finding a way to regulate your emotions, and a lot of that might be coming from inside you, but you might not know how much the outside world is affecting you. Because right here, I'm seeing that it doesn't feel like it's in your mind. It feels like you internalize it as if it's your fault or your problem or your idea. But the truth is, it's not. The truth is, it's that there's something playing with you on the outside. There's an energy that's external that is then becoming internalized because there's this almost sense of fear surrounding an old wound and possibly a people pleasing tactic. And you might be, let's just say, the mother of your friend group. So turning to the ones who need you when you are in need might not actually be something that you can do. And if you try to, it feels like you already know that they're going to make they're going to make it difficult for you. Like you're walking around trying to birth something here and your feet are swollen and no one wants to give you their seat, but you have always been offering your seat to every single person, even when you needed to sit down, or now you're feeling you can't sit down. And that's kind of a unfortunate result of being a very nurturing person in a world full of people who are very much wounded and in need of nurturing. And what I'm going to say, you're not alone in this. This is actually perfectly normal. um, Unfortunately, if you consider yourself a healer or a light worker, people are going to latch on to that. It's this like subconscious need that's been internalized since childhood. And a lot of people who are deeply wounded, who don't understand that wound and how they play off it or react to it, to want to be drawn towards people who embody the mother. You, whether you are male or female, however you identify, you on some level embody this motherly energy, this nurturing energy. And so people are going to be drawn to you either way, because there's just this sense of natural nurturing, whether you want to be a parent or not. Being the mother hen of the friend group or being the father of the friend group kind of means that you are the adult, you're the responsible one. People turn to you because you naturally have that in you. They just see that, they're drawn to you. And unfortunately, if people are deeply wounded and they're around you all the time, they're going to be taking from you and never really letting you be able to have a moment to yourself. And it is unreasonable for anyone to expect someone to be constantly on their feet moving around, like a parent taking care of an entire group of children. Like, these are grown ass adults, so let them take care of themselves. Let mommy have a minute to herself. That's what I'm feeling like. I feel like you definitely need a friend right now. And if this pet you are with, if they are here or on the other side, they are there unconditionally for you no matter what. They don't need anything from you. All you need to do is be with them, and they love you unconditionally. And I think that's kind of either how you need to show up for yourself if you are alone, or you're looking to get a pet, or if let's just say if you've had a pet and they've gone to the other side, or you communicate with a family pet, it almost feels like they want you to have that type of unconditionally loving companionship. I'm even seeing some of you getting a lizard. And the thing is that it's like any sort of creature we can take care of who doesn't necessarily need us, but it's a weird type of relationship with a pet or companion animal versus a person or a human being. It's more pure, and there is kind of a give and take on a very, it feels like subjective level, but you know that they're going to be there. There's some sort of comfort in just having this thing present with you that doesn't ask you for anything more than what you yourself have to give. And sometimes you just being there with them is enough, and you not needing to show up to prove anything is enough. And you can set boundaries with these companions, and they will still love you and they won't hurt you. And I think that's kind of this weird feeling I'm feeling, is a type of exhaustion. And I'm going to be honest, it's very, very familiar to me. And it's something I've had to learn over time. And it has to do with how much people drain you versus how much this pet or companion drains you, because they don't really do that, because there's no expectations or ulterior motives. there's no evil eye, so to speak, because people can drain you with their evil eye, lack of empathy, emotional unavailability. That is a thing that is sort of like not really well known, but it is entirely possible for someone to think in your direction and you feel drained. For you to be around someone who doesn't even have to say anything to you and you feel like, why am I so depleted? Because there is this undercurrent that you might be feeling on a deep subconscious and almost like at your very core, that this person is feeling a certain way. They're not showing it, but your nervous system is almost anticipating it. And your nervous system is doing work in the background to kind of figure out what's going on. And then you get into your head and you're like, well, they're not showing any signs of distress. They're not saying anything. But deep beneath the surface, there's this undercurrent of misery and negativity and rage. And unfortunately, that's kind of a warning sign that you might have to step away from some people. And you might already know this, or just limit time. So it's unusual. I'm not necessarily picking up on what the higher self of your pet is. I'm mostly picking up on immediately what they want you to do. Because I think for most of you, you know who this is, you know what this is or what it's relating to. And if you already have a pet with you, they just want you to know that the more you spend time with them, the more you will feel a lot gentler towards yourself, because you're giving yourself a chance to allow your nervous system to rest and reset and recalibrate. Just taking that time, sitting down with them. Like if you have like a dog, go for a walk, enjoy their company and find that sense of healing through them. Because there's this need for you right now to focus on your own emotions and not really have to cater to anyone else, to set those boundaries. You don't need to be needed 24/7. They have other options. And if they don't, you don't need to find that for them. You're not responsible for the lives or reactions or emotions of others. You're responsible for yourselves. And it's time for you to nurture yourself, because you have so much to offer and so much to give this world. And there are so many precious beings around you who absolutely love and adore you. And those are the ones who deserve your attention. And maybe they need it more than these people who are, I'm going to have to say it, selfish children. So a song came up as I was channeling energies, and I didn't mention it before, but the song is called Hollywood by Michael Bublé. Only, I'm going to put it in the description below. Only take it if it resonates, but the line that came is, love what is true and the world will come to you. You'll find it in yourself. So there's no need to go out there and prove that you are a loving and valuable person. You just are that. That's why people flock to you, but you deserve to have that in return. So let me see what advice or guidance or any good news the higher self of this pet has for you. Because I'm feeling like there's something good coming along the way, because one of the biggest energies right now is you're moving on from something and you're aware of this. And you might have been moving on from this for some time. For some of you, 4 months. Some of you have been working on it 6 months, this internalized healing. And a lot of this does have to do with both managing expectations when it comes to outside forces and your own inner world, because it's hard to heal from something if you're still in the middle of an environment that perpetuates that cycle. So if you are in, a dysfunctional family system, let's call it, or you're in a job that is not really good for you, you know you need to walk away, and there's all these reasons why. And you're trying to heal from it while you're in the middle of that chaos. But the thing is that every single day you spend with those people while you're healing, they're still going to injure you every day. It's like you're not getting healed while you're in it. You're not making any progress because they're coming in and not only impeding it, but setting you back. So you need to get into the mindset of like walking away, or at least distancing yourself emotionally and spiritually to the point where you can focus on your healing and not take no for an answer, and do not allow these people to judge you or like almost brief you on what they did during the day while you sat around and did nothing but help them. And that's a weird way to put it, but it's almost like they just want you to pay attention to them, and they don't want to really do anything to help you, and that should be your answer to walk away. And if it's not right now, you might just not be ready or in the headspace. And these animals and your angels want to help you to just know that it's okay to be just like a dog on a couch enjoying their day, to have that empathy, to have people coming, to you when you get home from work and being like, I'm so happy to see you. You deserve that type of energy. And if most of you already are aware of this, I'm just gonna let you know it's so much easier, more practical to heal from this outside of this relationship or situation or environment or group of people. And I think that's the thing that's the hardest to do, is to just kind of take that truth instead of rationalizing or making excuses for why you can't go. It feels like there's a little bit of resistance, but I'm hearing the lack of empathy keeps fueling you to move away, because you are aware there's not a lot of empathy and you have a lot to give, but there's some sort of wound that needs to be healed, and it might have something to do with a trauma bond. And all that means is that you might feel sorry for someone and you might feel guilty for walking away. And what I'm going to say is, listen, whatever happens to them is not on you and it's not your fault. And I know that's hard to hear. And it's hard to heal. It takes time. Give yourself that time. It's not easy to heal because people kind of misinterpret what trauma bonds are. People say, oh, codependent, you need them, they need you. You don't need them, and you know you don't need them. What a lot of people pleasers have to heal from is this feeling of almost survivor's guilt of, I was the one who got away. I was the one who escaped my misery. This person's trapped in it. And that part of you that's a healer, and maybe even a wounded healer and a people pleaser, wants to save the person you clearly love and gave so much time and energy into, and even money, that you want to save them. And that's natural. Let this run its course, because eventually you're going to see it's not worth your time and energy, and they're not your responsibility. They are not your child. You are not their caretaker. They have options. And if they don't, you can give that to them and walk away. You don't need to be responsible for them. They're not a helpless infant or a puppy who needs your constant attention. They are an adult. They can figure it out. Their trauma is not your responsibility to fix and handle. And if you're choosing to heal your own, don't feel guilty that you are moving on. Be satisfied and proud of the work you've done. And don't stay stuck in a situation that keeps you trapped with someone who refuses to move away from their wounds. That's not fair to you. So I think I just needed to say that. I felt like a lot of tough love needed to come out, because you are dearly loved. Like these pets, the souls, the animals around you, even in your space, the spirits that are with you, and the people who genuinely love you, who might actually be living with you, but you kind of can't pay attention to, they want you to be in that space where you can have your needs met and be unafraid to ask for those needs met. So there's a lot of this going on around you right now, and just know that you're not alone. Everything's going to be okay. And take it easy on yourself, because it takes time to unlearn these things. Like, I'm still in the process of unlearning this whole trauma bond thing. It will take a long time. I am still continuing with it. I know enough to kind of see when I'm catching myself wanting to help someone else who's stuck and living in their misery, because that's just all I know to do. But there is a point, and it's almost like an uphill battle sometimes, I will admit, where I have to step back and say, hey, I'm not going to resist offering help, but if I see that this person still is stuck in the same position they were in last week and refuses to listen, because I'm not here to heal a wounded ego that refuses to move on. I'm here to help other people and souls. And if I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, or this love that I give is just falling dead on arrival, I take a step back. I don't give as much. And it's not being cold hearted or closed off. It is setting a boundary. But you have to set it with yourself first and let go of that egoic side of you that wants to do good things out of the sense of needing to belong, because there is a genuinely good and nurturing heart in you that will do it just because it's true to you. And to confuse both of those parts just makes this mess and causes a lot of fighting in your own mind. And I get it. It's true. It's hard to heal this wound, but I am here with you and you're not alone. So that's kind of what is coming through right now. I was not expecting that to come through, but I am glad that I am here to help. And I'm also seeing an eagle might be a spirit guide or spirit animal for you, because I'm also hearing a lot of spirit animals are coming through. Or I'm also seeing what's it called? Pingree falcon. Like, yeah, because I'm seeing someone, I don't know what they're called. I'm hearing falconeer. If some of you like trained falcons in the past or had family who did that, that might be significant for you to look into. I'm seeing a lot of birds of prey. So there's definitely a sign of protection of people who want to do dirty against you are not going to, manage to come through to you. There's almost like this, I'm seeing a hawk or an eagle circling above someone and like looking up at the sky, and you're seeing them circling above this threat, and you kind of know that message is for you. Like if you ever see that, or if you have a spirit animal, or if you owned one of those, or you worked with birds of prey, that is definitely a sign that you are very heavily protected and guided. Because I'm still seeing, like, the advice is to just really focus on you. Okay, upright. I'm hearing hearing you. Some of you might be musicians or sound engineers. What does that have to do? Okay, another song is coming up. This actually came up for me before, because I just got done recently healing from a certain incident that happened, and I found myself falling into old patterns, which is why I kind of know when I see this coming through and it needs to be said, because I'm still seeing this white animal, this white cat or dog with you, and you need to know this and hear this. So the song was It Ain't Me by Selena Gomez. And it's like, who's going to walk you through the bright side of the morning? It ain't me. So there's this definitely consistent need to release people who are almost addicted to needing you because of how brightly you shine. And moving on in such a way that honors you and being consistently you, but in a way that is more balanced, the empowered empath sort of journey is to not give up the side of you that is beautiful and nurturing. Because I'm also seeing some of you might have a love of roses, because I saw a rose and then I heard the phrase, you are as beautiful as a rose. Like, do not dismiss the part of you that wants to give. It's just about bringing that into balance so you don't overgive. And that's hard to do. But once you've stepped away from a lot of these relationships and kind of sat with yourself long enough to know that all you have is to give is just being there, and that alone is precious. Your energy, the space you share with another being is precious. that alone is going to get you basically the head start you need to move forward, to be able to be in that space of a more co-regulatory relationship. And now co-regulation means that you're dealing with two people who are capable of basic emotional regulation on their own and intelligence, and co-regulating is just a fancy way of saying that you can rely on another person to help you if you're having a hard time. So like a co-regulation relationship would be like a therapist. Like if you go to a therapist and you're having a hard time and they sit down with you and they're not necessarily matching your emotions, or sometimes they might depending on their style, but they're meeting you and holding space where you are and helping you to regulate, in that moment, to bring you to a place of peace and clarity within, to identify the emotions, to work through them and process them. That is sort of the type of regulation you might need, because I am feeling like you might be able to find that through and with another person. Because to be perfectly honest, you were kind of on your own when it came to your own emotional needs being met. And a lot of the guidance seems to be pointing you as the level-headed adult who tries to be the peacekeeper and be the one to keep all the children in line, like you're running a daycare, because I'm getting this vibe and I'm feeling like you are exhausted and you know this and you're frustrated. And the higher selves of these pets and these animals are with you and just loving you and want you to be gentle with yourself and give yourself the time and space and empathy to work through this. Even if you need to go to therapy or find someone to talk to, or I'm hearing if some of you have a divine counterpart or a partner, or you're looking for a divine counterpart, because I heard divine counterpart come up. That's been coming up a lot. If you have someone to talk to them. But I do want to actually ask about this divine counterpart. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm being blocked from that. I think that message came up and that's been repeating. So you might be from one of my readings where we're talking about manifesting a divine counterpart. But I guess the biggest message here is to nurture yourself, care for yourself, and let go of your ego, the part of you that needs to be needed and needs to be seen and heard. You need to embody the part of yourself that is nourished by the children you feed. And if those children can't return that love to you, can't give mommy a spare moment to put her feet up and relax, mommy's going to have to find a babysitter. Because truth be told, you ain't their mommy. Because it doesn't feel like this is a mother who is caring for kids. This feels like a mother who's caring for full grown adults who can't take care of themselves and constantly need her. Shut your phone off. No one needs you that bad. Put it to voicemail. Tell them you're not available. And if there is an emergency that bad, call emergency services, let them take care of it. Because there's so many things that are not on you. And I know this from experience. People will make mountains out of molehills and expect you to be there to pick up the crumbs. And any minor inconvenience these babies are going through during their day is not worth your time. This isn't like the energy I'm getting is definitely a people pleaser who has had it and needs help. And I'm sending all my love to you. And I'm actually going to pray to my angels when I'm done with this reading, as well as hold on. I'm seeing Archangel Raphael's around you. If you have an altar, honor your pet at that altar. if they've passed on, so you can connect with them. Also, Archangel Raphael or any deities that are surrounding healing. I'm also seeing Artemis. Um, Hecate has been coming up. There's this need to embrace the dark feminine, almost like Black Lilith energy of just almost being yourself and not allowing yourself to be trapped in the energy or the mindset of a wounded mother almost who needs, to be the primary caretaker. And that's not your responsibility. God, your angels, and even Sandalphon is asking you to wash your hands of it. And this is most of what's been coming through. So I pray for you, honor you, respect you, send you all my love. Everything's going to be okay. You deserve better. You deserve more than to be treated this way. And I'm so sorry if that's the case. But I hope this message has helped you and reached you in a way you needed to. And I really hope to see you again in the next video.